I was muted. Hello. I debated whether to jump on right now because I only have 30 minutes, but I want to do a chunk of this, and I also want to stream the entire thing, so I'm just going to hop in and work for 30 minutes. I want to make explosions, so I'm going to make a 2D particle system for pieces blowing up. Yeah, let's do it. Should be a quick and easy task that'll make everything look a lot cooler without needing to write any code, and I've done very little on visuals here, so I'm going to do something placeholder, like just doing little fragments of shapes popping off, and I can replace the effect with something nicer looking later. So let's do it. Circle. I've heard explosions are circular. Cone, donut, box, mash. Yeah. Why does it start rotated by default? That's odd. All right. Let's do just a little explosive burst. I also want to hide my UI. There we go. And there's my ship for scale reference. All right. Yeah, let's do a little effect system. So I just want it to look like little fragments kind of coming off of the ship. I might layer up a few different things, but still try to keep it simple. So let's make a material. What am I doing? I'm naming my materials. Let's do some default particle shader, I guess. Particles. Unlit. I'll mess with that later. Texture. I'm thinking I'm going to use the little triangle texture. Oh. I see. There is a built-in triangle texture, I know it. Why am I not seeing it? What's it called? 2D sprite? Textures? There's totally a primitive triangle. Hold on. I know I'm not imagining this. Triangle. It's called triangle, and it's a texture. Why was this not coming up on the... Why, when I search in the project, is this not showing up? Is it because it's in packages? Can I not, like... I have no idea why this doesn't show up on the project search. That's very odd. I guess it doesn't search the packages unless I have some kind of filter on that I don't know about. But whatever. There we go. Let's go to my material. Get this triangle in there. Okay. I'm going to keep it white so that the particle system can set the color of it. Let's do, instead of just a continuous emission, let's turn the rate off and have it just release a burst. Like that. Give it that triangle. Okay. Transparent. Not sure why this is not showing up transparent. There we go. Fragments. I think triangles just make good fragments. I think they should be slightly random sizes. So we'll do between like 0.15 and 1. Let me shorten the duration of this so that it triggers faster. There we go. That doesn't look like random starting size. Oh, that's because it didn't work. 0.15 and 1. 1 is pretty big. I don't think I want any of the fragments to be as big as like a ship part, because this is what's going to play when a ship part gets destroyed. So like no piece is larger than half the size of the ship. Okay. Get them some random rotations so that they look a little bit more like natural fragments. Should all pieces of an explosion travel out at the exact same rate? That's a question. I feel like some pieces would get hit faster than others, depending on how far from the source of the blast they were, maybe. But maybe my physics is wrong. Mostly just want to figure out what'll look good, so let's try start speed between, well, let's just try dramatically different start speeds and see what that looks like. Oh yeah. Oh, that little shatter effect. That looks pretty cool. I think it's a little too dramatic. I think there should be, like, the slowest pieces should be like half the speed of the fastest pieces. But having that little bit of variation in there is nice. Maybe a little slower. Yeah, that looks pretty sweet. I think having the circle be smaller radius to start is probably good. Nice. And then instead of having things just blip out, there's two ways to do this. I can fade them out or shrink them out, I guess. Let me see what shrink them out looks like, and then maybe just go with fade them out. Shrink them out will probably make it look like they're falling into the screen, actually. And we want them to be kind of traveling on a plane. So I'm going to try color over lifetime. That's not working. Does the material allow you to fade? No. There we go. I think I would like them to fade kind of abruptly towards the end. Yeah, so instead of just blipping out of existence, they do maybe a little longer than that. This is also going to create a lot of screen clutter. So maybe the whole thing should be a little bit shorter duration. Like lifetime 3.5 instead of 5. That still covers a lot of ground. Lifetime 2. Do you want this to be nice and snappy? Maybe 2.5. And maybe more of a gradual outro. That looks pretty good. Pretty good for now. Although maybe if I shorten the duration to like really short. Yeah, maybe snappier is better actually. Could do it like 1.5 but up the speed slightly to like 2.5, 5.5 so that it explodes a little bigger and a little faster. How's this look? Yeah, that's a nice little burst. I also feel like the little pieces need to spin. They need to all have kind of a random... Can you give them a random... Start rotation, 3D start rotation. Huh. So what's the way to... I guess I got to do rotation over lifetime, maybe? Angular velocity, random between two constants. Go negative 90 and positive 90. See how this looks. Are they spinning now? Way faster. There we go. Got some spin on there. Nice. That's a nice little burst. I think that's pretty good. Should it last longer or is that good enough? And should I add any other effect to it other than the fragments for now? I think I kind of like the simplicity of it. How about if we make it fiery colors? See how this looks. Try that. I don't think it changes fast enough to be noticeable. Oh, it's not changing at all. This is the start color. I think this isn't what I want. I think the color of a lifetime module might be conflicting with this. Let's try the gradient here. yellow, orange. Red. How's that look? It's kind of cool. Can't tell if these are interacting weird with the background. I'm gonna turn off the background for a sec. They look like they turn gray right at the end. That's because they do. There we go. Try this. That is pretty cool. Having some color on there is cool. What if I start white? Then go yellow. Yeah, that looks pretty sweet. I think I'd like more variation in the start speed, so that they don't travel in quite so much of a ring. And more variation in the start size, so we get some tiny fragments. That looks pretty cool. I dig it. Nice little explosion effect. Is that good enough for now? Shall I instantiate it when things die? Call it frag burst. Looks pretty cool. Should I extend the lifetime slightly? Now that they kind of have that slow fade, they kind of go away more quickly. But maybe that's okay. Eh, 1.5 seems about right. It's quick, it's snappy, it's done. Gets the point across. It's a nice little explosion. I'm actually a little tempted to sync it up with another particle system that does like a rounder little kind of cloud in the middle. I know that's not really what explosions in space look like, but what if I did like a little cloud in the middle? that has, instead of these triangles, has circles. To kind of simulate a little cloud. Oh, really? You're going to do this to me again, Unity? Just give me this circle. Do this. And then I want the cloud to be shorter lived, to travel less. So it stays more in the middle. This is kind of cool. Maybe I will keep it the same. I don't know. Maybe I'll keep it the same lifetime. Just make it travel really slow. It looks cool. I don't want to go too high on the particles, but now it looks like kind of a little cloud explosion with like shrapnel coming out from it. Start speed. Some of them can just stay in the center. How's that? And then what if it sort of stays hotter than the rest for longer in the center? Like that. Maybe keep it white hot for a second in the center. I don't know if this is better or not. Maybe this is just overkill. I think it looks cool though. What if I make these bigger? You know what this needs? I think the circles need to grow over lifetime. Like they're expanding. What if it starts? That's kind of cool. It's like a proper cloud now. Maybe if it's always a little bit transparent. That looks cool. Let's randomize the lifetime a little bit so that parts of it are yellower for longer. Instead of this all being 1.5, it can range from 1 to 2. So that it doesn't all die off in perfect unison. That looks cool. Yeah, look at that explosion. Pretty neat. I think maybe it lingers a little too long. Yeah, there we go. Nice snappy center explosion. And then the little shrapnel bits take longer to fade out. I mean, that looks pretty cool. That's a nice explosion right there. All right. And that's my half hour. I made a boom. I'm going to hook it up to the death effect in a little bit. But yeah, thanks for watching. Sorry this was such a short session, but I will be back on possibly later. Either way, I'm going to be doing a long session.